All right, so welcome to our Massive Action Mastery Power Workshop. This is Charaka Cook. Super blessed and grateful and very proud and humbled to be the leader here with the Cook Group. To our workshop for today, I'm continuing on our series of how to level up your life. We are ending we're get preparing ourselves to close out 2025, going into the new year. So it's time to start. As we've been talking a lot about vision, goals, and what we want to achieve in life. And so now is the time for us to do some deep reflection in all areas of our life. We don't want, because we want to design and create our ideal life, right? So last week, we talked about number one was mindset elevation, the importance of renewing our mind, all right, resetting our standard. And so during last week's Level Up Your Life blueprint, we talked about mastering your morning, right? So we read the 5 a.m. club, and to our new agents, we have a book club. Starting at the beginning of the year, we read the 5 a.m. club, and it talked about having a victory hour. And The Miracle Morning was another book where it talked about savers in the morning times. It was where you have silence, where you pray and reflect. You say positive affirmations. You move your body, exercise, visualize, reading. Okay, doing some personal development to feed your mind, as well as scribing, journaling your gratitude and your wins. So we want to have a morning routine. You want to be able to start your day, have a powerful start to your day. Set your intentions early. Write down your goals in the morning time. Right. So that's very important. Next, you want to reprogram your limiting beliefs. We all were born with limiting beliefs into that paradigm. And so now we have the opportunity to challenge every limiting thought that we have and to replace it. So we are reprogramming those limiting beliefs that hold us back, right? To shift our mind from victim mode to solution mode. Next, you want to be sure to create a growth environment. Surround yourself with people, conversations, even content, okay, that stretches you, that's positive. That's the type of environment you want to be around, because growth happens when you are uncomfortable and you're supported. So you want to be sure your environments reflect the person who you want to become. And that's the type of conversations, that's what you scroll and seeing, so you need to delete, declutter things that's not in alignment with your future and your vision and where you want to go. Next, we have to feed our faith, not your fear. Okay, because you got to be mindful of what you are consuming. Okay, because some is not good. So you got to be careful spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We got to protect your peace. So important. Embrace discomfort. If we stay in our comfort zones, ladies and gentlemen, we're not growing. We're staying the same. And if anything is not, and when anything that's stagnant dies, I want some motion. Okay, I want to be growing, going somewhere. So, growth and discomfort cannot coexist. The discomfort you avoid is the growth that you delay. So, you want to choose challenge over being complacent in life. Stop settling. You just don't want to settle in life. Life has so much more to offer us. God has abundance, is our birthright. So we have got to embrace discomfort so that we can grow and have an impact as well. Set, monthly mindset themes. You may have a theme that, I'm going to be disciplined December, focus February, along those lines, so that you can master a certain core value that you align with. Okay. Um, Invest in development daily, guys. You want to be growing. And in order to grow, you've got to read. You've got to make an effort to grow. And every single day, you want to spend at least 30 minutes consuming some type of material, reading to help you grow. All right. So keep it in mind as well. I'm so excited for Janice to ask me how you share in a minute. Now, next, you want to reflect daily. Why should you reflect? Because you want to know what's working and what's not, because you want to learn from what's happening in your life so that you don't keep repeating the same bad behavior. Change your mindset. So you got to write it down. Okay, you want to write down what you're grateful for. You want to have awareness. You just don't want to go through life and just going through the days and not even aware of what is happening. Because awareness builds wisdom. Next, you got to visualize your future self. Guys, if I focused on where I was 10 years ago, I wouldn't be here today. Okay, you've got to see your future. You've got to focus in on what's ahead and what you want to achieve in life. Who is the person that you are becoming? Okay. What does she look like, talk like, dress like? All of those things. How she talks, leads, lives, smells. Visualize it and start embodying that person. Right? So you don't want to think about all the things that you don't like about yourself. Think about the things that you want, who you want to become. Okay? Speak life over yourself. There is power in the tongue, and we got to be careful and be mindful of the things that we're saying. And you want to be sure that you use words that create the world that you want to have. Don't use words that destroy. You want to use words that create and affirm where you're going. Okay. Um, so as we get into today's different ways to level up your life, next is going to be your health and energy. Protect your body because your body carries your destiny. Your body is a vehicle of your destiny. Take care of it like your future depends on it, because it does. We only got one body, guys. We have got to take care of ourselves. We abuse our bodies. Okay, so number one, we need to upgrade our nutrition. We need to eat good foods, foods that fuel us. We need to eat healthy, eat better. Okay, so you want to find out what works for you, as far as your food. Right now, with what, my situation is, I ordered some meals from a meal prep service because I limited time with cooking. Okay, so I'm not going to eat out. So I'm going to go ahead and plan ahead and have my meals lined up to where I can just pop it in the oven and have it ready. Okay, and then I just had a treat, which was a yogurt, yasso. Okay, so it was, meal replacement. So you just want to eat better. And let me tell you, it's just in your daily choices. I tell myself that I have, you want to have a treat sometimes, but overall, guys, you're not just eating to for comfort. You're eating to fuel your body. So, and then this work we do, we got to have energy as well. So we don't want to eat foods that's going to take away our energy, right? So we got to get moving. You want to move your body every single day. Okay, it's going to give you energy, it's going to give you confidence. And when you can feel better about yourself and feel good about how you look, it's going to increase your confidence. I believe it's going to help you even do better personally as well as professionally. Okay, so let's get our bodies moving. We want to be healthy, we want to be in shape. You want to be walking, even if you start out going for a 5 minute, 10-minute walk, whatever you can do, you've got to get started with where you are. Let's commit to getting our bodies moving. Okay, we've got to prioritize rest and recovery. Yes, we know this business, is a hustle, but you don't have to be in hustle mode all the time. You've got to rest, you've got to get some sleep, you've got to recover. Okay, because we talk about the 5 a.m. club. You can't get up at 5 a.m. if you stand up late all night, right? So you got to go to bed. What you staying up so late for? Doing what? Go to sleep. Get some rest. Okay? Turn off the TV. Stop seeking out energy. We talked about, manage our time as far as being entertained. So keep that in mind as well. So we want to get some sleep, get some recovery so we can think sharp and be able to get up and do what we need to do. All right. So prioritizing our rest is important. Hydrate and detox. Okay, your brain and energy depend on your water intake. So it's important to maintain consistent hydration throughout the day. Go ahead, start out the day having your water, your things lined up so that you can drink your water. It's important, guys. Develop mental resilience. It's important for us to stay calm under pressure, to respond and not react. When you can have mental strength, okay, and it's going to come from consistent discipline. I challenge you when you're in a situation to where you feel like you need to respond to something and, get upset, just to take a moment and just to pause. Don't respond right then. A lot of times when I have to respond to a situation, I take a minute before I respond. And even when I'm having conversations, even with many of you, because I need to process it, I need to think about it. I want to be mindful of how I respond. So you have got to develop some emotional control and some mental resilience, staying calm, right? And so a lot of times, is it worth you getting upset, crashing out? Okay, you don't need to crash out. Stay calm under pressure. Okay, so that's going to help build. Why do we need to have emotional? Somebody come off mute and tell me, why is it important for us to have emotional control and mental resilience?
I think that's having emotional control and being emotionally flat. It keeps us in control of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yep.
know how to raise my hand, but this is Claudia. It keeps us from just reacting. Yeah.
Reacting. And Claudia, why shouldn't we just react?
Because that's an outside energy and it controls you. It takes you out of control of whatever the situation is. It's almost like you're just thrown along with whatever is going on. You're thrown into an
Right.
energy that's not you.
Right. And that could cause us, Claudia, to make decisions that we normally wouldn't make if we were emotionally flat. Okay. If we were in control, if we paused and take a moment. Phyllis says, well, you won't make hasty decisions.
Yeah, your
Okay. You just won't
decisions.
blow up. You won't, they say now, crash out. Okay. So keep that in mind as well. Tyrone. Okay, I thought sees Tyrone hand up. So let's keep those in mind, ladies and gentlemen. So get regular health checkups. We got to prioritize our health. We can't pour from an empty cup. Preventative health is important. Okay, once again, it's not going to put us in that reactive mode. So commit to getting regular health checkups. We need to take care of ourselves. We're talking about, building our empires and futures and generational wealth, people making more money they ain't ever made before, 6, 7 figure incomes. You need to prioritize your wealth, your health, because our health is our wealth. We just left off, breast cancer awareness month. Get your mammograms. We just left off prostate awareness month. We moving into movement November for men. So we want to be sure that we're doing all the things that we need to do to be sure that we stay in good health. Okay, so prevention is important. And if you need some assistance with any type of insurance, health insurance, dental insurance, guys, we can do it all. So just see me and let me know, because we have any type of insurance you need is available. If you need help with getting access to health care, do not let that be a deterrent or stop you, because we can assist you with that as well. Right? So we got to prioritize our health. Okay, because it's better to go ahead and work on things now before anything becomes a problem. We want to practice mindfulness. Guys, sometimes it's time to just be still, just to be silent for a moment. Okay, that's one of the savers, right? And remember in the miracle morning, did the miracle morning talk about that?
Yes,
About
ma'am.
being silent?
Yep.
What did
First
it say
one.
about that?
Meditation.
Meditation, yep. And why was that meditation so important?
Because we move so much sometimes that we just got to really just, the book told us to just sit still and just clear your mind. Don't think about anything. Focus on your breathing in and out, and
Mm-hmm.
be patient with yourself, because sometimes it takes some getting used to. Because our mind races a lot.
It races all the time, Jamal. We got
Right.
thoughts constantly.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So we just got to learn, Jamal, just how to settle ourselves, settle our spirit, settle our mind. Okay, because we don't have to be constantly stimulated. Okay, so we just need to be able to, because you can work on your just settling your whole body, your whole nervous system, yourself. So just practice being silent. Turn the TV off. You don't need no TV in the background and all. Turn everything off and just be silent. Okay, Jamal.
But the miracle morning also has a part where it says you got to visualize what you're going to do that day too. So there's a part where they don't want your mind to race, and then there's a part where they want your mind to race. So just
Right.
throw that out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, guys. So just take your time. Okay. Pray. Show some gratitude. Breath work. You want to stay grounded. Create a dopamine menu. All right, I created this menu for myself a couple of months ago. What is a dopamine menu? What do I mean by that? You want to have a list of healthy ways for you to recharge. We all know do anybody know when you feeling some kind of way and you need to take a minute to recharge? We all know when we have those moments, right? Yeah, I see your heads nodding. So you want to go ahead and make a list of when you have in that moment, what do you need to do? Because once again, we're planning ahead of time so that we won't be reactive, so that we won't make a bad decision, you feel us, in that moment. Okay, so we can go ahead and make a good decision. Okay, we can, instead of emotional eating or something like that, when we're not feeling good, you can go for a walk, nature, music, worship, reading, whatever it is that's going to help you during that moment. Okay, so go ahead and write down a list, and it's some things I want you to share in the chat. What are some things that you would have on your list of your dopamine menu? Your healthy ways to recharge. Walking, that's I love that, Jerica. Daily walking. Nature walks, yep. And let me ask y'all a question for the folks that walk. Why is it so important for us to take these walks, go on these walks and get our bodies moving? How has it benefited you? Can you share that with the team?
Going on a walk, it gives me a peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
really and truly, and being in nature, hearing the birds. And I like to walk by water, any type of body of water. So, it clears my mind, and just, I have a peaceful walk, have conversations with God, all that. So,
That's
yeah.
great, Jerica. Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Kamisha.
Yes, I was actually getting to say the same
Mhm.
thing. It just gives you that peace. You know, you if you walk by yourself or you walking with somebody else, it's being out there in nature, you know, and being able to clear your, it's therapeutic. It's very therapeutic. So, and that was one of my wins. I walked every day last week, and I was proud of me for that.
Outstanding. Way to go. I love that for you. That is
Thank
awesome,
you.
Kamisha.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. I see Sharnice next.
I would say it burns off a lot of adrenaline. Like, when I'm upset or my anxiety is running hot, I like to go to the water and walk, and it just burns off a lot of unwanted energy.
Yes. Yep. That's great. I've done that before too. When you feel it, you just go for a walk and walk it off. Just walk it out. Walk it out. Jamal, I've been hearing you walking. You were walking on the call on Saturday or working out or something. What'd you have to share?
Man, I almost lost my breath walking out and talking at the same time. But what I've been doing is outside of walking while we're doing the motivational mornings. I'm also walking while reading or doing my audio books. So now it's like I can actually participate more in the book of the months. Um, and I also, because sometimes audio don't stick, so I listen to it twice and take
Mhm.
notes. So that's what
That's good.
I
That's
enjoy
good.
walking.
Yep, that's good. All right, thank you for sharing that. Deborah.
Um, I enjoy walking because it helps me to get centered. It helps me to get my mind in the right place. And then I also love the benefit of it because when I'm done, I'm energized.
Yes, yes. And then look, when I'm walking, I gotta go to bed early too because I'm ready to. I gotta stay rested as well. So it helps me stay on schedule. Marianne.
Yes, ma'am. And right quick, walking for me in the morning, it gives me that first quick win, right? So
Yeah.
if I get that walk completed, whether it's a mile or whether it's 10 minutes, I can check it off my list as that first win of the day, and it helps me to push.
Absolutely, that's great. Yeah, it's great to have a win early in the morning. And so, Marianne, why would you go on a 10-minute walk?
Because at 10 minute, it still helps out, with that initial boost, whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
10 quick minute or it could be 5 minutes.
Be
I've done
5 minutes, right?
I did 5 minutes before. It might be a quick 5 minute walk, but I still got it done. And
Mm-hmm.
it helps your mindset out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. So important, guys. So you want to start somewhere, right? And so we want to have healthy ways to recharge and taking care of ourselves. Now, next is dress for your higher self. When you look good, you feel good, and your confidence rises. Okay, presentation is energy. And the reality is that you want to feel good about yourself. Okay, so take some time out to look at what you're gonna put on. Look at yourself in the mirror. Iron your clothes. I mean, we're not saying you gotta have on the most expensive thing, but take care of what you got on. Have pride in yourself with what you have on. Okay, so please keep that in mind as well. Now, of course, we can have visions in mind of what we want to our style to be, but where you are right now, do your best. Okay, celebrate your body. So often, we say negative things and about ourselves. Speak life. Have gratitude for your strength, your beauty, your daily vitality. Self-love is so important, guys. So self-love fuels sustainable success. So you want to love on yourself. Celebrate your body. Okay? So these were the things that were included and the health and energy audits. So you want to audit yourself and see How do you stand when it comes to your energy audit? All of these things affect our energy. And why is our energy important?
One reason would be, oh, and I'm sorry I didn't raise my hand there, but
No, you're fine. Uh-huh.
jump in. Yeah, one reason would be that we want to stay, that helps us stay motivated. You know, when you
Mm,
have that energy, because if you get down and depressed and you go down a rabbit hole, right,
right.
and it just keeps on going and going and going. So that would be my reason.
That's good, Maria. Yep. Mm-hmm. Janice.
You perform your best when you feel your best. So when
I
you keep
love
your
that.
energy up, and then the other people, we talk and deal with people, they can feel our energy. And sometimes it's our energy that makes them buy, because somebody else might have try to sell them the same product, but you coming with the right energy will help push them forward to close the sale.
Oh, Janice, I love that. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Deborah.
That's good stuff. That's exactly on the lines of what I was going to say. I mean, if our energy is high, when we're talking to people, they can feel that and that gets them motivated. So it's very important to have that pumped up attitude.
Mm-hmm. And all of these things we discussed today will help you, increase your energy level and have that, enthusiastic, contagious energy. You'll be fired up. Think about it. If you go, let me next, Tyrone.
Hey, Quinn, I'm just having some problems with technical difficulties with my
No problem.
with my iPad. No, I just want to say that it's a great topic right here. Your energy pretty much is like a magnet. So when you're energized, you're going to meet like-minded people, and that's great in this business. So our energy is key when we go out and meeting and speaking to people, because you may
Mm-hmm.
get them to open up and actually and it piques their interest as well. Why are you so excited? What's going on with you? And then put down a lot of their apprehension as well too. So our energy level is key when we're going to speak. We got to keep that. We got to feed it the proper nutrients that it needs, and that's books and everything we're talking about now. So pass back over to you, Queen.
Absolutely. When you think about, guys, this is something that these things that we're talking about today, as far as our energy audit, we're taking care. Our body's our temple, our energy, our peace, all these things are so important to us, and help us create success for ourselves. So we just want to be mindful. Okay, I'm gonna go through them again. We got to upgrade our nutrition. And if somebody could post these 10 things in the chat as well on our health and energy. Number one, upgrade your nutrition. Number two, move your body daily. Number three, prioritize rest and recovery. Number four, hydrate and detox. Number five, develop mental resilience. Number six, get regular health checkups. Number seven, practice mindfulness daily. Number eight, create a dopamine menu. And number nine, dress for your higher self. And 10, celebrate your body. So we want to start operating, higher. We're thinking about our vision, our goals that we're setting for ourselves, for our businesses. Okay. We are helping families. We're talking to families about, financial literacy, building generational wealth. Very important topics. So you want to be your best self. Janice said, when you feel good about yourself, you can convey your presentation in a better way. People are going to feel more motivated to even buy from you. You're going to help serve and protect more families. So let's do an energy audit and check our energy. Okay. And just remember that, on this journey that we're on, your potential here is limitless. Don't just limit yourself to where you are or who you've been in the past. Okay, you can take some intentional time, commit to working on yourself, have that vision in mind. And, part of your morning routine, you got to do this visualization every single day. Write down these goals every single day. Envision your health and energy, and you on that higher level. And you're going to even make better decisions because you're going to say, you know what? This right here is not in alignment with my health and energy goals, with where I am going. So we've got to, increase our awareness and make better decisions because we only got one life to live and the time is now and we must do this right now. Okay. All right, guys. So any questions? Anybody have anything else to add? So we're on number 2 of our ways to level up our lives. Next week, we'll be talking about wealth and success. Okay. And then after wealth and success is relationships and connections, leadership and purpose, um, lifestyle and environment, legacy and spiritual growth. I'm excited about this journey that we're on to level up our life. I'm looking forward to it. Anybody excited about leveling up their life?